Are you looking for ways to make money online? Are you trying to grow a small YouTube channel? Well, my guest today has published more than 3,000 videos on YouTube and makes hundreds of dollars a day in passive income. He calls himself an average guy, but he has a lot of amazing insights to share. Keep watching to find out more. Welcome back to Love Your Channel. This is where we get tips and advice from YouTubers on how to start or grow your own channel. A quick reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube, we do have a podcast now. There's a podcast-only version. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Amazon Music. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're more the listening type, don't forget there's a podcast. And if you're listening on the podcast, don't forget there's a YouTube channel. So if you're more the watching type, it's funny how it works both ways like that, right? So find the format that fits your taste best. Oh, and if you're more the reading type, we have a Substack now. There's a Love Your Channel Substack where you can find text versions of all the interviews we do, plus other text about different advice for, again, starting and growing a YouTube channel. So watching, listening, reading, is there anything else? I think that's it. So I think we've got all the bases covered there. All the links in the description below, of course. So our guest today is the financial mind behind a channel that you have to check out if you are looking for ways to make money. I just got your attention tonight, to make money. Of course, we all want to make money. And this guy has a lot to say about that topic. And I mean, lots of things to say, lots of ways to make money as well. His name is Chris. The channel is called Average Guy Making Money. I love the name, Average Guy Making Money. We're going to talk about that. And while he might be an average guy in other ways, he is definitely someone you want to listen to, not only if you're looking for ways to make money online, but if you're looking for tips and advice on starting and growing a YouTube channel. So Chris, Average Guy Making Money, thanks so much for joining us here on Love Your Channel.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, we start with the same question for everybody. You meet somebody who's never heard of your channel, Average Guy Making Money. They ask you, what's it all about? How do you answer?
So yeah, whenever I first started this channel, it was because I had already seen a little bit of success on another channel that I'd made. But short story, I would just say the channel's all about trying to grow and your income online, whether that be through YouTube or other means. I have various YouTube advice on the channel, but also just in general how to make money in general as average people. Like, we're not like gurus, we're not like wealthy already, just average people trying to figure things out as we go along.
You made a reference to your other experience on YouTube, and I was kind of cheating up until this point because, we're talking about Average Guy Making Money, but this is not your only channel that you're involved with now, even not by no means, by a long shot, not the only channel you've ever started. So give us the fairly short version, if that's even possible, of all your experience on YouTube.
Oh gosh. We were talking before about a little bit about that, but if we really wanted to go back to the beginning, I mean, even when YouTube first started out as a website, the thought in the back of my mind was, I should really start a channel, and I kind of held on to that. I saw some other people start channels, and every time somebody kind of got big, I thought, oh, I should have started a channel last year. And then, that would go a couple more years, and I'd kind of dabble with it. I'd make like a family channel, or I'd make like my own personal thing and not really take it too seriously. But it wasn't until COVID that, a lot of people started channels at that point and started getting serious about it at that point. And I started a channel about taking care of my medically complex daughter. And at first, I just honestly, even before that, so a couple years before that, I threw a couple videos on YouTube to try to connect with a nurse who would be taking care of our daughter while we were doing some amusement park stuff. But long story short, I threw a couple of videos on YouTube, not even thinking too much of it because we were just trying to connect with somebody else. And then a couple years after that, I saw that those videos, while I was just sharing them with a couple people, actually started getting some traction. And then I thought during COVID, well, maybe I can upload some more videos and people would actually get some benefit out of this. And so I started doing that. And that channel blew up. I wouldn't say blew up. Over the course of about 3 years, got to about 20,000 subscribers. And it's kind of been sitting at that ever since then. So in the process of that, in the process of growing that channel and realizing, well, it's really not as complicated as I thought it was, I started this channel, Average Guy Making Money. and thought I would really share how average people can grow their YouTube channels. And I learned in the process that I really don't know a whole lot. Like it's complicated. It's more complicated than just seeing one channel grow and being able to do that for over and over and over again. All the gurus who say that it's so easy, you just got to follow this formula. Well, I've tried all the formulas, and it's more about dedication than following any formula. So that's what I kind of share on my channel, is that if you want to grow a YouTube channel, grow a business, make money, you really just got to decide, I'm going to stick to it and do it over and over again. And no matter what happens, keep on going.
Chris, before we dive deeper into your channels really on YouTube, let's back up just a little bit. Can you tell us a little something about yourself, what you're all about, and what keeps you busy when you're not making YouTube videos?
Sure. Yeah. I'm a family guy. So got a wife and 4 kids. So we're just family oriented. We stay close to our family. We stay home a lot. And we're really fortunate to have these online jobs now too.
Average Guy Making Money. I love the name. It's Average Guy Making Money. How much more direct and clear can it be? Is there any story behind where this comes from, or is it just a lucky shot?
Well, I was thinking about, what to title the channel, because I'd been wanting to make a channel like this for a long time. Like I said, I dabbled in YouTube for a long time. So I had been watching all those channels, and some of them are great. I love Nate Black, for example, and he's only been around for a few years, but vidIQ, TubeBuddy, Nick Nimmin, D Nimmin, uh, so many channels that like that are just really good at giving you advice for YouTube. But a lot of them are just very, very professional. And in all honesty, it's hard for a new channel to get started, even though they have great advice for new channels, not to discount them at all. But they come from a perspective of you have to be very, very professional oftentimes. And from my experience, from how I think about YouTube, it's less about getting everything right and just getting started. So that's why I love Think Media, for example. Just says just got to press record. So I really come at YouTube more from that angle, just as average people, not people who have it all figured out. Because even now I still definitely don't have it all figured out. But I just want to encourage people who just don't even know where to get started. Just get started where you are and learn as you go. So that's kind of my perspective on it. And so the average guy thing falls into that, to say we're all just average people, and if I can do it, you can do it too.
It's funny you mentioned the just get started advice, because you hear this a lot, and it's because it's true that there's no shortage of advice channels on YouTube about how to get started and do well on YouTube, and you hear this a lot. Just get started, because so many people at the early stages, they get caught in this what do they call it? Analysis paralysis mode, right? What about my lights? What am I going to use for editing? Let's spend the next 2 months choosing a tool for this. And no. Hit record and get started. That is, yeah, at the end of the day, that's probably the best piece of advice you can give anybody. Let me play devil's advocate on something here. Because watching your videos, again, making money on YouTube and Amazon as well, that's another big name in much of your content. Let me play devil's advocate, because again, there's a lot of content on YouTube. Oh, so easy, make money, do this, and the money's going to come flowing in. And some people might say, yeah, no, it's not that easy. You only see the success stories on YouTube. Be honest, it's super, super hard. How do you reply to that?
I would say I agree with that. Like, it's not easy. You just got to
So
be
you agree with the
dedicated,
devil's advocate? Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Good.
absolutely. So for the last year and a half or so, I've kind of chronicled my progress in how I've been doing it. So I started, even before I started this chronicling process, I've been, building it up over time. And so by the time I started the process, this chronicling every day, uploading a short every day, primarily is how I do that. I had already been making about $70 per day. That's through Amazon, Amazon influencers, and we'll talk about that in a second. But through the YouTube AdSense program, I was, with that, and also Amazon, a trickle of Amazon, I was making about $70 per day, which is not a full-time income. It's getting there. It's getting closer to where you want to be.
Oh, come on, Chris. Plenty of people would be thrilled to make $70 a day, and
that's true.
Just call that success. Yeah?
Well, yeah. And I'm not going to discount that. That took me 2.5 years to get to that point. So it wasn't fast by any means. My first monetized channel was in 2021, and that was the Hope and Sunshine channel. And then through that, I was able to apply to the Amazon influencer program, in which you can make video reviews of products on Amazon and then post those directly to Amazon. And then when people are shopping, they can actually see your video, and if they watch your video and then buy that product, you get a small commission from that. So that was actually when I got into that program, that actually immediately, almost immediately doubled what I was receiving. So whereas I was getting about $30 per day, if that, sometimes usually more like $5 or $10 per day through Amazon at that point. Um, the Amazon influencer program really helped to boost that quite a bit right away. So anyway, in August of 2024 is when I started this chronicling process of saying, I want to make not just, $70 a day. I want to make $274 per day. Because if you make $274 per day, you can actually make $100,000 in a year.
Right.
So that was my
The
goal.
magic number. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my goal is to make $100,000 in a year, whether through Amazon or through YouTube. And so I've been chronicling that. And I would say, if anybody's wishy-washy in terms of like, is it really possible to make money online? I would say, man, watch this series, because over the course of the last year and a half, almost at this point, year and 2 months, I've grown it from $70 a day to now I'm averaging about $260 a day. So not quite to my
Wow.
goal, but
Wow.
over the course of 14 months, I was able to grow it that much. So I'd say it's definitely
That's
possible.
amazing.
And if you
That's
just
amazing.
work hard at it, I mean, and make a plan, make a good plan, you really can do it. I'm an average
Well,
guy, and I'm
here's
still
what
working at it, but it's
you
getting
are
there.
the average guy, exactly. Let me say this in your defense, though. Again, in response to people who would say, "Oh, you only see the success stories," and kind of questioning how honest these videos are. Let me say this in your defense: you literally bring the receipts, right? This is a big part of your content, showing people, here's my dashboard, here's my YouTube dashboard, here's my Amazon dashboard. I made this money. So you're not just making up these numbers saying, yeah, trust me. No, 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 no. You are bringing the receipts. And so you're taking people on the journey with you and showing them the work that goes into it. Like you said, 2 years to get the seven, was it 2 years to get to the $70 point? I think, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And to
Yeah.
grow it after that. So you're taking them along with you on the ride and showing, sharing the progress that you made. And so you're completely, what's the word? Transparent. That's the word I'm looking for. You're transparent. Look, I made this money. And so you're showing that it can be done with the dedication and the kind of the long-term outlook that you mentioned earlier. So yeah, well done. I
Thank you.
mean,
Thanks.
would you say $260 a day?
About that right now. Yeah, it's
And so
200.
you're just shy of that goal that you set, right? Just
I
barely
am.
shy
I mean,
of that.
that's my 30-day average. So in order to see it for a year, you got to do that every day for a year. But right now, my 30
Well,
day average is about 250, 260 per day.
that's the next step. I'm sure it's going to
Yeah.
come soon. So well done. Okay, this is the part where I tell you 3 things that I love about your channel. Okay? And I'm going to go through my list here. I'll stop after each one to get some feedback from you. And so this part is easy for you. You can just take a moment, relax, and just listen to how great you are. Okay. So here's the first thing I love about your channel: your clear dedication to producing content. On the Average Guy Making Money channel, I think you have roughly 730 videos. And with your various channels combined, you are easily in the thousands of videos at this point. Any idea, by the way? You want to take a guess on the number of videos altogether you've uploaded?
I honestly
Roughly?
have no idea, because I also had a daily Bible devotion channel, which I've posted to at least 2 years daily. And what I'll do is I'll go a whole year posting every day on it, skip a couple of years, and then go a whole year posting every day on it. So I've done that at least twice, and that's at least almost 800 videos right there. Then, yeah, like you said, on the Average Guy Making Money channel, another 700, so 15. Then I know I made another 500 or so on the Hope and Sunshine. Like you said, over 2,000, maybe 3,000 videos, something like that.
Multiple thousands.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Well, when you do this, and let's take it. Let's just focus on the Average Guy Making Money channel, for example, for our purposes here. So when 730 plus, and when somebody goes to your channel and they see that much content, it's immediately clear that you, as the creator, you are invested in this channel. I mean, emotionally invested. That immediately communicates the idea to me as a viewer that you love what you're doing. That you're going to create this even if nobody's watching, because this is what you do as a creator. You love to do it, and I think that really creates a sense of trust and credibility. Now, I realize this point is of limited value to like new YouTubers or small YouTubers, because there's no way to automatically accelerate from beginning to 700 plus videos. So there's only so much you can do with this, but it is a reminder that this is a long-term process. I think you mentioned this earlier, that this is not an overnight thing, but it helps, it helps to create the mindset that's going to help to sustain you as you step by step, clip by clip, you get to your own 700 videos one day. And so I think it's a good thing to keep in mind. But you're a good example of that. Commitment to content works. It takes time to get there, though. So well done on that point. Looking back at everything you've created for this channel, are you kind of impressed by yourself? Because you should be.
I, in all honesty, I'm impressed with some of the videos I made, but not all of them. Some of them I look at and cringe. I'm like, I should have done that one better. I should have put more time into it, or got it out sooner. In some of it, in some cases, I would say that if you're not cringing at some of your older videos, then you're not pushing yourself enough.
No, you're not the first YouTuber. You won't be the last one to look back at your early stuff and say, ugh, what was I thinking? That's okay. That's part of the process. The second thing I love about your channel is the depth of your content. Now we're talking about average guy making money here. Let me explain what I mean by depth. Now, of course, the focus of most of your content is about making money, but there are lots of other videos where you expand that focus to the things that I would say are adjacent to your main focus. Let's say, how to run a successful YouTube channel generally, and tips that kind of are not exactly focused on money or the financial aspect of it, but things that can help make you successful independent of things like money. But sometimes what I like even more than that is the way you sometimes jump way out of your lane. And what I mean by that is that, you have content where you give like life advice or motivational talks, or just, some inspiration, um, or just insights into you as a person, who you are away from YouTube. And I think this makes you more relatable to viewers. I think it makes you like an average guy, basically. Um, you're not necessarily an expert who wears a suit to work every day in your corner office and you know everything and have all the answers. That's not you, and you're honest about that. Um, when we're talking about ways to make money, but you have the same challenges that other people have. And that's what I mean when I say that I love the depth of your content, because it gives you depth as a person, as a creator. And I think the takeaway here for new creators is that I think sometimes it is okay to get out of your lane a little bit. It is okay to come across as an average guy or an average girl, right? I think it's good to give viewers a look at you as a person and not just as a creator in your field. And I think it helps to build a bond with an audience. So well done again, Chris. Just pretend there was a question in there somewhere and run with it.
Well, I would say that a lot of what you're saying right now was not planned at all. Like, it was literally me trying to figure things out as I went, and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And honestly, even looking back at a lot of stuff, I don't know what worked and what didn't work. If I had the mindset of trying to figure all that out just perfectly, maybe I could find some lessons in there in terms of the things that I shouldn't do again and should do more of. But honestly, I've been so focused on, well, I guess in a way, it kind of worked it out naturally in terms of, I'm focusing more on what is working. And so the content that I've been putting out there lately is the content that either talks about what's working lately, or is what's working lately. So, yeah, a lot of the stuff that maybe presents myself as more relatable, it happened more by accident. And I've thought about taking some of that stuff down, but I also probably wouldn't never take it down, because I look at like Mr. Beast's channel and his early stuff that obviously was not working for him. He leaves it up there as a testimony of where he's been and how kind of his journey has got him to where he is right now. And that's probably what I'll keep up there, because like you said, I'm an average guy, and if some people can see my journey and that motivates them to get where they need to be too, I hope that inspires them as well.
No, I think, some of the videos that I connected most with on your channel are the videos where you are talking about maybe not failure exactly, although maybe sometimes it is failure. It's disappointment, didn't work out the way you thought it would, and things like that. And because, like I said a minute ago, it just makes you look human. It's not all good news. It's not all expertise. It's not all success. It's the other side of life too. And I think viewers look at that and they think, hey, yeah, I know what he's talking about, or, this makes what he's talking about more realistic when he does talk about success, because he's seen the other side of it as well. And so I think that balance really does a lot to, I think, again, form a better bond with your viewers. The third thing I love about your channel is your thumbnails. Now, let me say a few things about your thumbnails here. First of all, Chris, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for never doing that horrible, look of shock and surprise with the open mouth, that thing that's on 90% of all thumbnails these days. That drives me insane. I think we need a public service campaign against those things. So thank you, first of all, for never doing that. I appreciate that very much. But no, seriously, you would think that after having made as many videos as you have, that you might run out of ideas for thumbnails, but you haven't. And part of that reason, I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong here in just a moment, but part of that reason seems to be that you have a deliberate approach to this. I think you have an intentional approach to this. Simple design, 3 or 4 words at most, sometimes no words, actually. I like those, no words. Very direct. So well done on that. Tell me something about your approach to thumbnails. Is it the product of experimentation or just gut feeling or what?
I'm still experimenting. I definitely don't have thumbnails figured out yet. I've tried to learn from others, and the only reason I haven't had the shock face yet is because I haven't tried it yet. But um,
Please don't do it. No, Chris, don't do it.
I might eventually. I would say for whether it comes to thumbnails or making videos in general, just keep on trying things. It's when people stop innovating is when they stop seeing, you know, results or at least progress. I would say that 99% of why my channel has grown even as much as it has, and I wouldn't pretend that it's even massive, and it probably will never get massive because I'm an average guy. Only like 1%, less than 1% of channels ever break 100,000 subscribers. So but I would say keep on trying things. I mean, for my thumbnails, just keep on trying things. For YouTube ideas and concepts and formats, just keep on trying things. It's the people who just say, "Well, I've tried everything. I can't grow a channel." Of course, you're not going to grow a channel because you think you've tried everything when you haven't. And it's the people who, like the Bill Gates of this world, they become the Bill Gates of this world because they kept on trying things. That was not their first attempt, right? It's people who are willing to fail and over and over and over again, who keep on trying things, whether it comes to thumbnails or video concepts in general. They're the ones who eventually do see the success that they want. And I would say, once again, I'm still learning all this. I would say that the people who keep on trying things and say, "Well, I've tried everything," or I keep on trying things and it doesn't work, you might be on the precipice of seeing something that does work, right? And you never know until you keep on trying.
Well, speaking of trying things and experimentation, looking for the right way forward, do you get deep into the analytics of your videos and A/B testing and things like that? Kind of, basing things on stats and data, or is it gut feeling, or do you have an approach to that?
So I've tried to get deep into the analytics and try to get deep into the, um, what might work next. And I'll honestly, I have no idea. As much as I try to dig into that stuff and see what has worked as far as analytically speaking, I can't figure it out. What I can say is anecdotally, and like you said, gut feeling. Sometimes I say, well, this one probably will do well because I've seen things like this do well before, whether on my channel or otherwise. Not because I have analytic data to back it up, but a lot of times it's just like, well, I looking at some of my top videos. So that is it is a sort of analytic just by looking at what view, what has had the best views. But I really don't know why sometimes those videos have done well, except for the idea, except for the hook, maybe sometimes. But even saying that, sometimes I've put a lot of effort into a hook or into an idea, and it ended up not doing so well. So analytically, I don't know sometimes what's going to do well. But just yeah, I think all the times it is that gut feeling that I'm just going to try something new or try something that I've tried before and try a little bit different. I'm still definitely in the trial and error phase of everything when it comes to all this.
2 questions in one, content creation subject matter. Having made so many videos, are you ever kind of stuck for new ideas? And where do your new ideas for content come from?
I'm well, so you asked 2 questions in one. I'll give you two answers as well. Um,
That's fair.
uh, yes, I'm oftentimes stuck for ideas, but no, I'm not because I have a long list of ideas that I could make, but weeding through those ideas for the right ones, the best ones, the good ones, That can be the more difficult process. And sometimes an idea comes to you and you're like, well, this obviously is what I need to make next. So regardless of how many ideas I've had before, um, sometimes you just know what the next one needs to be. And sometimes you have certain ideas. It's like, well, that one would be awesome, but you know how much work it would go into making that one come to fruition to make it awesome, and you're like, I don't know if I have the effort right now to do that, even though it would be great. I don't know if I have the energy. I don't know if my channel is big enough to warrant putting months into an idea. Sometimes you just have to wait on that one for a little while, and that flies in the face of so many experts because they say put all your effort into one banger video, and I would say I've tried that, and sometimes it didn't work. Um, but I know that if I were to build up the consistency over time and have a larger base, that video might have done better at that time. So I don't know. I'm still definitely figuring things out as I go, but um, I definitely have a backlog of video ideas that I want to make. Um, but whether those are videos are good ideas or not, that's yet to be seen. So I don't know.
Let me ask about your editing process. Now, a lot of your videos are shorts, and the shorts have no editing or barely any editing. They're done in. It looks like you're in your car, talking about your receipts for those days or just thoughts on the subject of the day. Pretty straightforward. Minimal production. What about your editing process in your longer form videos? What do you use for editing, and do you have any particular approach to the process?
So I use DaVinci Resolve. I have the free version of my laptop only because the studio version won't run on my laptop because my laptop isn't good enough for it. I do have the studio version, the paid version on my desktop. So if I have to do something more intensive, get on my desktop and finish up a video that way. But as far as the process goes, usually I film with my phone and download the footage. Oh, the footage will automatically upload to Google Photos, and I'll download it from Google Photos to my laptop and just drag all the stuff in. Um, I don't have a particular way I go about it. I don't necessarily always go beginning to end. As far as Casey Neistat says, he once he finishes the first 30 seconds, he never goes back to it. Sometimes I'll go through and finish the whole thing as I go. Sometimes I'll just do the cutting first. So I don't really have a process. Whatever seems to work for each particular video. Usually, if I know that I need to make a really good hook for a video, that'll always be the last thing that I do. Just because I want to know exactly where I'm going with the whole video first, and then I'll go back and make a good hook for it. But for the ones I've lately, honestly, I've been trying to do minimal editing for pretty much any of my videos because once again, I'm still learning as I go, but what I've learned anyway is that people, like you said, connect with just real people, and you don't need a fancy edited video to make a real and raw, connection with somebody. And even with my shorts, like if you look at some of my earlier shorts, I actually did edit them quite a bit because I thought that it was the fast paced, it was the hook them right away kind of shorts that are going to really make the connection and get spread. And while that might be true, once again, for me, it's just your hook doesn't always have to be a visual editing kind of hook. Sometimes it's just the connection that you make with somebody right away. So I've learned to start with my videos less about me and more about what can be gained by watching the video, or more appealing to what people want to see in that first 5 seconds, especially. And that takes no editing whatsoever. So I'm trying to do less and less editing and more just connection, because that's really what people want is the connection, not just with a person, but the connection of what they can get out of it right away.
You mentioned DaVinci. You mentioned your phone. You mentioned your laptop. I was going to ask about your tech stack. Anything else, software, hardware that's part of your toolbox? Yes.
So for YouTube, I learned that thumbnails definitely slowed me down a lot, and there's research nowadays on YouTube that says that your thumbnails don't have to be overly edited. They don't have to be, so polished that people think of, you hired an editor to make it. So I've learned to make my thumbnails more simple lately, and but even in the simplicity of making thumbnails, um, oftentimes you have to go to another service, whether it be Photoshop or Canva or Photo P is what I use a lot of times. And even that process of screenshotting of my video and taking it somewhere else was slowing me down. And I like everything to be streamlined. So I actually made my own Chrome extension recently to make thumbnails for YouTube. So as I'm uploading to YouTube, and once again, this is not what the experts say to do, but once I'm uploading to YouTube, I can click a little icon in the browser, which will bring up the Chrome extension that I made, and I can make a thumbnail right then as I'm uploading to YouTube without even having to leave YouTube at all. It just pops up as a little pop up, and I can pick the screenshot that I want. I can add text. I can add images, and it just for me streamlines the process so much easier. So I don't have to leave YouTube. I'm right there. I click set as thumbnail, and it's done. I can download it if I want to, and sometimes I do that, especially if I'm making a review video. I can use that same thumbnail for Amazon influencers as I'm uploading that same video there. But yeah, so that's one that I use, a Chrome extension that I made. I just released it like 2 weeks ago, so other people can use this too. It's called Enhanced Thumbnail Selector. It's very hard to find right now if you just search for search that. But if you go to my website, averageguymakingmoney.com, there's a link there that says Enhanced Thumbnail Selector. You can download it there. And I would say also that if you find any bugs in it, let me know, because it's definitely brand new right now, and I'm still
Beta
learning.
version, huh?
Yeah, definitely beta at this point. But that's one that I use all the time now because it's so easy. It's in my workflow while I'm uploading a video. Just make a thumbnail right then, and don't overthink it too much, but make it clickable. Yeah.
You made your own Chrome extension. I like that's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to mention that because as we're speaking today, I think that's your most recent video on the channel. Is you made a video about the thumbnail and enhanced thumbnail selector. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a great tool. Like, you can choose any frame you want from the YouTube video, add graphics. Very cool. Very cool. So well done. Among your many talents, making your own Chrome extensions. Fantastic. Let me ask you a big picture question here about the rewards you get from YouTube. And I'm not talking just financially, although you have plenty of content about that, of course. For someone who's been doing this for as long as you have, as much as you have, uploaded, what did we say, thousands and thousands of videos. Tell us something about what keeps you coming back. I mean, the personal satisfaction you get from being a creator on YouTube.
I just enjoy it. I mean, and I don't even really know why. I've just always enjoyed the video editing process. I've always enjoyed the making something, a finished product of something, and putting it out there and seeing how other people like it or dislike it, and if I can grow something. I've always had this slightly narcissistic view of myself in terms of like, if other people can grow a channel like that or grow a channel to have a following, I think, well, maybe I should be able to also, because what do they have that I don't have? I mean, really, when it comes out, I always say that I'm an average guy, but really, I could say the same thing about everyone, because the people that we oftentimes think of as the celebrities or the people who, they're the ones who got it all together. My view of them is they're just average people too. So why should they be able to do something that anybody can't do? So if somebody else is able to achieve something, I think anybody should be able to achieve it with enough hard work, with enough putting learning from the process and figuring it out as you go. So I'm probably narcissistic is partly why I want to do YouTube as well. But I'd say I just enjoy it. So people have asked me before, especially when it comes to this, when I tell people what I do with Amazon, with the whole Amazon influencer program, people that I know in real life, like, how'd you get started with that? And I have to take them back like 20 years because that's when I started editing videos. I was a youth minister at the time, and we would go to people's houses. We would go to youth's houses, teenagers' houses during the summer after they don't have school anymore. We'd get their parents' permission. We'd knock on their bedroom door and wake them up at like 6 a.m. and say, "What are you doing sleeping in? Don't waste your summer. Get up." And we'd film the whole thing. I'd edit it and show it on Wednesday night to the youth group. So that was kind of my introduction to video editing. And that was, 25 years ago now. And ever since then, one thing has led to another. And I've started YouTube channels, got into the Amazon influencer program. But I just enjoy it. I mean, it's just this idea of taking a video camera and recording something and putting it out there. It's just fun.
You mentioned Amazon. Let me take a minute to give you a chance to tell us about something. We should have covered this earlier. It slipped my mind. You mentioned Amazon. You have a lot of video. You have multiple channels on product reviews, and not just
Right.
one channel, but like sub channels for different categories. Can you tell us quickly what that's all about and how that kind of fits into your overall YouTube life?
Sure. Yeah. So it's through the Amazon influencer program, and anybody who has any kind of following whatsoever, pretty much online, whether through social media of some kind. Um, Amazon, if you go to their Amazon influencer page, you can see if you're eligible. Basically, they just want somebody who has a little bit of um, social following of some kind. It doesn't even have to be huge. I've heard people getting into the program that just have like 50 subscribers. As long as there's a little bit of engagement, people like their videos, people comment on their videos, Amazon will typically allow them into this program. And this program is basically YouTube on Amazon. Basically, when it comes down to it, you can upload videos directly to Amazon. And while people are shopping on Amazon, they can see your video. And if they watch your video, which is going to be a product review video or an unboxing or something like that, if they watch that video and then buy the product, then you get a small commission from that. So I've made, I don't even know how many. I mean, hundreds, thousands of product videos. I'm trying to make at least 3 to 5 every day at this point. And a lot of that is the reason why I've grown so much as far as my daily earnings is through this program. And yeah, it's probably one of the best opportunities to make money quickly online right now, as long as you can apply to it and be qualified for it, getting into that program. Because once again, people on Amazon are basically there to shop. And when they go to a page, they're pretty it's not always that they're completely decided that that's the product that they want to buy, but they're pretty close. So if they see you just showing the product and saying, "Hey, this is how it works," works good for me. Um, a lot of times they'll say, "Yeah, I'm sold." Click buy, and then you get a commission from that product. And a lot of these videos are really easy to make. I mean, I talk about not having to edit much. I don't edit very many of those product videos at all. I just record for 3 minutes or so of a product and show how it works. Upload it to Amazon, and yeah, it's been a really good way to grow this, grow my financial goal towards that 100K a year.
Just let me ask quickly here. These are videos that are hosted on and by Amazon, right?
Yeah.
How about affiliate marketers with Amazon links to their YouTube content? Is there any kind of crossover there? Is there like a Venn diagram where, creating for Amazon also might
Sure,
fit into
sure. Yeah.
being an
So,
affiliate for your YouTube content?
oh yeah, yeah. So as you upload it to Amazon, you should always take that same video and upload it to YouTube. And Amazon will give you the link to use as you do that, and you could use that link and point people to Amazon with that same video that you already made for Amazon. But now you put it on two places. You put it on Amazon, put it on YouTube. So, but I would say of the two, if you're making a video for YouTube to have affiliate market for marketing that points to Amazon, you got to put it on Amazon, because my data shows that people shop far more. You get far more commissions when that video is directly on Amazon, because that's what they're like. They're there to shop. And even if you put it on YouTube and you have somebody clicks your link to go to Amazon, a lot of times they'll probably still watch another video once they get to Amazon. So then you'll lose your commission because somebody else stole that commission from you because they were the
Yeah.
last video that they watched. So I would say you've got to have your video on Amazon.
So sorry, is that the model? Is it the credit, the payment goes to the creator of the last video before the purchase? Is that how it works?
I believe so. I could be wrong.
That would make sense. I mean, otherwise, how do they know who to credit? So it just kind of simplifies things, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think like, for example, if a person were to, and I could be wrong, maybe somebody needs to correct me on this, but if a person were to get it, upload their video to YouTube, and then somebody clicks their link, and they think, okay, I'm getting a commission because somebody clicked my link and they're going to buy that product. And then if they watch another video on Amazon, um, on that product, somebody else's video that they upload directly to Amazon, and then that person gets a commission. And I know that person will get a commission. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Then the seller of that product would have to pay out 2 commissions, and I don't think that's the case ever. I think they only have to pay out one commission, and it's the one that gets that last view that convinces the person to
Yeah,
buy.
that makes sense. Even if it's not necessarily fair all the time, that kind of makes sense because otherwise they get into the messy business of how much do you get for being the second to last video. It's or directing to the site. It's messy. So yeah, you're probably right. But again, as you say, if somebody knows better than we do, please let us know in the comments, or better yet, contact Chris directly. Let me ask you. You just reminded me of something, or maybe think of something, Chris. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Speaking of Amazon and money making opportunities, it occurs to me that there are probably lots of YouTubers, depending on what kind of content they're making, there are probably lots of YouTubers who don't realize that their content is an ideal fit for product recommendations and for affiliate marketing to Amazon. Do you think this is something a lot of YouTubers overlook?
Definitely. Yeah, I was talking with another content creator that I met in person at a meetup a few months back, and he wasn't in the Amazon influencer program, but he makes product review videos all the time. And I'm like, dude, you are missing out big time. And even if people aren't necessarily in the review space of YouTube in terms of, like, specifically making product review videos or that kind of thing. Um, Anytime anybody is open to a sponsorship, they're basically open to um, making this kind of content as well. Anytime there's any kind of product where you would say, "Hey, this is a good thing that I like," whether or not it's a review, you can still put the link in the description and direct people to Amazon or whatever. I keep on saying Amazon. There's other affiliate programs out there. For me, I've been focused so much on Amazon because that's where people shop. Oftentimes, when they think of online shopping, they think about Amazon. But there's other ones out there too, and some people say that those are even better because there's higher commission rates to be earned. Certainly, if you see something better out there, let me know so I can so I can try it out and see if it works for me too.
Yeah, but Amazon is the king. We all know that. But yeah, like you said, there are others, but it's a distant second place. Whoever's in second place behind Amazon, right? Last question, Chris. It's a big question. It's actually two or three questions in one. So go whatever direction you want to go in here. Earlier we were talking about how you look back on some of your early creations with a bit of cringe, not proud of it, but oh well, that's how things went. We've all been there. Um, Knowing what you know now, so many videos later, looking back, comparing where you are today versus where you started, everything you've learned along the way, what advice can you give to those who are thinking about starting a channel today or trying to grow a small channel into something bigger? And part two, what would you do differently if you could go back in time and start over?
So I'm going to answer the first one, the second one first, because I wouldn't do anything differently. Well, the only thing I would do differently is start earlier. Um, but when I look at my older videos and cringe at them, I'm not cringing because I thought I should have made it better before releasing it. I'm cringing because if I were to make that video today, it would be better. But I think I probably should have even the ones that have done the best on my channel. I probably should have put less work into them and released them faster, because one thing I say on my channel all the time is that action is always better than inaction. And what I mean by action is actually uploading. So not to say that we should just upload junk, but I would say that one of the things that I've learned is the things that we consider to be junk in terms of how we've edited them, or even our screen presence. Oftentimes, like, we think we have to edit ourselves to make ourselves sound so polished. Most people who watch our videos, they don't care at all about that kind of stuff. What they care about is the content and your authority, your expertise in what you've learned along the way. That's what they care about. And our packaging of that stuff, once again, this flies in the face of everybody else who's talking on YouTube. And certainly they have a lot of expertise. I'm not saying that you should never listen to that stuff, but at the same time, what I've learned is that people care more about connection and expertise than your packaging of those, how you share that stuff. So I'd say I just would have started earlier, and I would have shared more. Um, Everything else is kind of like learn as you go. Yeah, I mean, it's the advice everyone says, and I'm not even saying don't listen to the advice of the big people. Grow, learn as you go. Make your videos 1% better each time. That's all great advice, but don't put that off. I've talked with several creators in different groups and things who oftentimes they talk about how they want to launch their channel, and they want to have a big launch and they want to make sure everything's right before they launch. I'm like, no, you should have launched last year. You should have launched 5 years ago. And if you would have done that, then by now you wouldn't talk about launching. You'd be talking about how can I get my next 1,000 subscribers and the next 1,000 after that? Don't put it off. Just get started right now and learn as you go. So if I were to tell myself, 10 years ago, I would say, hey, don't wait another 5 years. Start now.
Well, congratulations on what you've done so far, Chris. Very impressive with Average Guy Making Money and across all your channels. And we look forward to watching it grow even more. And if you're watching this at home, two things. If you're looking for ways to make money online, Average Guy Making Money is the place to start. You know, if I ask you right now, write down 10 ways to make money online. If you struggle to complete that list, go to Chris's channel, start watching today, and tomorrow you'll be able to write down about 50 ways or 100 ways or more. It's incredible. I mean, I'm watching his content and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, I should do that too. So you'll have the same feeling as well. Secondly, if you're starting a YouTube channel, if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you'll also get lots of great advice from Chris on the things you can do to succeed, to get that channel started, to grow it, to get those subscribers you're trying to get, to have a better channel, to get more engaging content. Because as we said earlier, part of Chris's content on Average Guy Making Money a lot of it is about YouTube, specifically about YouTube. So you'll get explicit lessons about what to do, and just watching him, from his vibe and the things we talked about during our conversation today, you'll get more inspiration as well. Great tips and advice. So, Chris, thanks again for joining us here on Love Your Channel. We appreciate it, and all the best.
All the best to you. Thanks for having me.
Don't forget about our podcast and our Substack. Again, watching, listening, reading. We've got all the bases covered here at Love Your Channel. So again, please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing, and we'll see you next time.